Welcome to Arsenal Report, your daily source for all things Arsenal FC. From match updates and transfer talk to behind-the-scenes stories, we've got it all. If you're a true gunner, this is your home. Hit subscribe and join the pride. Victory through harmony. Let's get started. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta will be able to call upon Ben White and Thomas Partey for Wednesday's Champions League game away to Real Madrid. The news on Jorginho is less positive though, with the Italian midfielder ruled out through injury. The positive one, Ben White managed to train with us, Arteta told reporters. Yeah, Thomas is available. He felt good after the last few days, and he's fine. Arteta also confirmed Jorginho was not here for the game in Spain. The former Chelsea star was injured late on against Brentford on Saturday and left unable to breathe, according to the manager. And he joins the likes of Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus on the sidelines. He said he could not breathe properly, so it might be to do with one of the ribs, the Arsenal boss said after the weekend game. It is strange because Jorgi normally carries on, so that means it is something significant, I think. Partey was also withdrawn against Brentford, with the boss saying Arsenal didn't want to take any risks, while White missed the game entirely. However, both are available on Wednesday. Arsenal claimed a momentous 3-0 win in the first leg, with Declan Rice scoring twice from direct free kicks and Mikel Merino adding a third. The tie isn't over though, with Arsenal chasing a first run to the semis of the competition in more than a decade. I think it is exciting. The history, yes. We have never won the competition, he said. We are trying to do something now where we can dominate the European competition. Arteta was also full of praise for midfielder Rice, the hero of the first leg win. The 26-year-old has already won one European trophy, captaining West Ham to Conference League glory in 2023, and now has the chance to add another. I think he's creating a story with us. That moment will be in our history for a while, Arteta said. It is about creating more, and I think he is going to have to believe he is capable of creating those moments. Real Madrid have never come back from a 3-0 first-leg deficit in Europe, but have delivered momentous comebacks in recent years. Last season, they trailed in their semi-final against Bayern Munich with just 2 minutes remaining, only for super sub Joselu to send them through with a quick-fire brace. It is something that you want to be a part of. It is something that you want to add to the history of this club, Madrid and England star Jude Bellingham said on Tuesday, ahead of the Arsenal return leg. There is not a lot you can do for Real Madrid in the Champions League that has not already been done. Tomorrow is an opportunity for us to do something that has not been done for the first time, and that is really important to us. Mikel Arteta faces a defining night of his reign as Arsenal boss. It will come in the Champions League quarter-final second leg in the magnificent setting of the Santiago Bernabeu on Wednesday night. Go through, and Arteta will go down as the manager who led Arsenal past the might of Real Madrid and to just 3 games from European glory. Go out, and Arteta will be the manager that threw away a 3-0 first-leg lead, and suddenly questions will be asked about whether he can ever lead the club to the biggest trophies. If you lose from 3-0 up, it is a body blow which managers struggle to recover from. History does not look favourably on such surrenders. Unai Emery lost his job as Paris Saint-Germain boss a year after blowing a 4-0 first-leg win over Barcelona, who won the return 6-1 in 2016/17. That remains the biggest turnaround in the competition's history. Former Barcelona boss Ernesto Valverde suffered the same fate against Liverpool in 2018/19 after his team won the first leg 3-0, but lost the return 4-0 in one of Anfield's greatest European nights. Everyone remembers the glory and the victory, but we soon cast aside the losers. Football is a brutal game, and Arteta will be acutely aware of the dangers. It is a fine line between success and failure. While it is ridiculous to suggest winning 3-0 was in some way worse than to triumph by 1-0 or 2-0, it does in some perverse way raise the stakes. Real Madrid have the ability to turn their stadium into an intimidating cauldron, and despite their woeful display at the Emirates, they still believe they can turn it around. After Real Madrid won at Alaves on Sunday, Brazil superstar Vinicius Jr. said on social media, "Already thinking about Wednesday. We're ready and looking forward to it. We'll wait for you at the Bernabeu and we'll try everything. We are the Real. Hala Madrid. There is no way this tie is over. Arsenal produced their greatest night at the Emirates by overwhelming the 15-time European champions. Declan Rice scored 2 sensational free kicks, Arsenal completed a brilliant win, and it kept their season very much alive. Arsenal have had a frustrating season in the Premier League through injuries, too many draws, and in their eyes, bad refereeing decisions. They were supposed to be the team ready to step up if Manchester City faltered, but instead have been left trailing in Liverpool's wake. This team has gone backwards in the Premier League but can take an almighty step forward if they beat Real Madrid and then set up a semi-final against Aston Villa or PSG. What an opportunity. Arteta has done such a remarkable job at the Emirates. From a team and a club without direction when he took over nearly 6 years ago, they are on the up. But Arteta just has one trophy to show for it after winning the FA Cup in 2020. They have gone close in the Premier League title race but fallen short. Now, they have the opportunity to do what even the great Arsene Wenger, the greatest manager in the club's history, could not do. Win the Champions League. The back four is more surprising. Emmanuel Eboué, Kolo Touré, Philippe Senderos and Mathieu Flamini. Admittedly, Real did not have Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, Jude Bellingham and Kylian Mbappe. But Arsenal must do what that defence did. Survive the first 20 minutes, quell the crowd and get the job done. They must also not get caught in between wondering whether to stick or twist. Arsenal have experience of that themselves from 2011/12. Arsenal lost 4-0 to AC Milan in the San Siro, but the Italians did not know how to approach the return. Arsenal were 3-0 up before half-time, but just could not find the all-important fourth. These games, even with a healthy lead, are difficult to plan. But Arteta is a brilliant tactician, leaves no detail to chance, and will run through every scenario with his players. If Arsenal go through, it will underline Arteta's progress. If they go out, Arteta will have to lift the club off the canvas little over a week after their greatest night. Advisor to the board. Blanc arrived at the club with significant footballing pedigree. He previously spent time with Italian giants Juventus, among other clubs, and was involved in the Turin club's move to the Allianz Stadium. The 62-year-old also spent time with Paris Saint-Germain in his native France, serving as the club's CEO for a decade. He officially joined United just weeks after Ratcliffe's partial takeover of the club was confirmed in early 2024. Before taking on his role, he became Ineos Sport CEO in February 2023. When announcing that appointment, Ratcliffe pointed to a particular ambition to raise our standards in football, with Ineos in charge of OGC Nice, among other clubs, before the Manchester United investment.BBC Sport reports that Blanc had previously represented United at European football and Premier League meetings, but didn't do so at the last Premier League shareholders meeting. On that occasion, CEO Barada was joined by Chief Financial Officer Roger Bell. Ratcliffe has overseen a number of changes in the club's leadership since taking charge of football affairs midway through the 2023-24 season. The billionaire also brought in Dan Ashworth as sporting director, though the former Newcastle transfer chief only lasted a few months in the role. In a March interview with The Times, Ratcliffe indicated he could be convinced to walk away from the club if he receives the same amount of hate as the Glazer family. Majority owners the Glazer have been the subject of fan protests at various points in their tenure. I don't mind being unpopular because I get that nobody likes seeing Manchester United down where they are and nobody likes the decisions we're having to make, Ratcliffe said. If I draw a bit of the ire, I can put up with that. But I'm no different to the average person, it's not nice, particularly for friends and family. So, eventually, if it reached the extent that the Glazer family have been abused, then I'd have to say, look, enough's enough guys, let somebody else do this. They can't really come to a match, the Glazers.